Have you ever wondered why certain people treated you like you were nothing? Why they dismissed you, belittled you, or made you feel invisible? Here is something I shall present that will fundamentally change everything you thought you knew. I discovered a psychological truth so powerful that once you grasp it, you will never observe human behavior the same way again. What if I proposed that the manner in which people treated you had almost nothing to do with you? That their cruelty was, in truth, a mirror reflecting something they could not confront within their own depths? Remain with me, for by the conclusion of this discourse, you will comprehend the hidden psychology behind mistreatment. And, more importantly, you will uncover why you attracted it into your life in the first place. This is not a matter of casting blame. This is a discourse on liberation. And these insights, which I have labored to unearth, will set you free from a pattern in which you have been ensnared for far too long. Let us commence with the painful truth. You have been mistreated. Perhaps it was a parent who never validated your being, a partner who perpetually criticized you, friends who violated your trust, or colleagues who undermined your every endeavor. You have undoubtedly asked yourself 1,000 times, what did I do wrong? Why me? Am I truly so unworthy? In the view of analytical psychology, these questions, I must assert, have missed the mark entirely. The mistreatment you experienced was neither random nor deserved. I spent decades studying the human psyche, and what I discovered may well shock you. I found that human cruelty follows predictable psychological patterns that are independent of the victim's intrinsic worth. Yet, here is where the matter grows complex. I also discovered that we unconsciously participate in these patterns, not because we desire pain, but because of a factor buried deep within our unconscious mind, something inherited, something we have never confronted. And until we understand this mechanism, we shall continue to attract the same sort of individuals who treat us in the same deplorable fashion. But why? Continue to give your attention, for the answer will transform your very existence. I have stated something that most people fail to comprehend. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Let the weight of this statement truly sink in for a moment. What I discovered through my clinical work with thousands of patients was that human beings operate from two distinct levels of awareness. The conscious mind of which we are aware, and the unconscious mind, which controls as much as 95% of our conduct. The unconscious mind holds everything we have repressed, denied, or refused to acknowledge about ourselves. I term this the shadow. And here is the crucial point. Your shadow does not simply rest quietly in the background. It actively molds your reality. It influences whom you are drawn to, whom you permit into your life, and, yes, how people treat you. In my view, the individuals who mistreated you were, in fact, responding to something invisible that you were unconsciously projecting. Not your stated aims or your conscious values, but the unresolved wounds, the denied aspects of yourself, the portions you have banished into the darkness. These people were not randomly cruel. They were drawn to you, and you to them, through a psychological magnetism that neither party grasped. I discovered that this entire process is completely unconscious. The person inflicting the mistreatment does not awaken thinking, "I shall destroy this individual today." And you did not consciously think, "I desire someone to inflict pain upon me." Yet, the dance occurs regardless, orchestrated by forces below the surface of awareness. This is the dance of the shadow, and it is about to become even more revealing. I discovered one of the most profound truths concerning human relationships. We do not perceive people as they truly are. We view them through the aperture of our unconscious projections. I termed this shadow projection, and it accounts for everything regarding why you suffered mistreatment. Here is the mechanism. Every human being possesses a shadow. The parts of themselves they have rejected, denied, or been told are unacceptable. Perhaps you learned in your youth that anger was base, so you suppressed it. Perhaps you were taught that your necessities were irrelevant, so you denied them. These rejected portions do not vanish. They sink into your unconscious and wait. What we reject in ourselves, we project onto others. But observe the paradox. We also attract individuals who embody the very qualities we have disowned. If you denied your anger, you will attract angry individuals. If you rejected your strength, you will attract controlling individuals. If you suppressed your voice, you will attract those who silence you. The person who mistreated you was likely projecting their own shadow onto you. They saw in you something they despised about themselves, something they could not own, so they attacked it in you instead. As I have stated, this is why abusers often accuse their victims of the very things they themselves are guilty of. The narcissist calls you selfish. The liar calls you dishonest. The cruel person calls you mean. But hold, there is a mechanism even deeper at work here, and it pertains to why you accepted such treatment. Remain with me. I have said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. This is where many individuals experience discomfort, for I discovered something radical. The people who mistreated you were mirroring your unhealed wounds back to you. Before you protest this notion, permit me to elaborate. This is not about assigning blame to the victim. It is about understanding an unconscious mechanism that holds you captive. In my view, we unconsciously recreate the wounds of our childhood in our adult relationships, not because we are inclined towards self-inflicted pain, but because the unconscious mind seeks to resolve what was never resolved. If you were raised by a parent who was emotionally absent, your unconscious mind registered that as this is the very essence of affection. Consequently, as an adult, you unconsciously seek out emotionally unavailable partners. Not consciously, of course. You likely tell yourself that